If you've been avoiding ombre because it's just tricky to do, with this technique you will definitely love it. And also we will do a review of Modelones solid cream gels coming up. Hello guys, Anastasia here. Now let's take a look at the solid cream nail gel set. So we have 6 jars of 5 grams of different colors. Also we have instructions, Q&A, which I definitely intend to read and follow. We also have a brush here. Now let's open it up. I think this is the synthetic brush number 6. It's a triangle shape, so you can use it for nail art. Let's take a closer look. And you can definitely use different brushes with these gels. Now let's open them up. And oh my god, this is so satisfying. I don't know, this surface is just so clean. Honestly, I do not even feel like touching it. It's just so perfectly smooth. Oh my god. Well, one sticker didn't came out that smooth, but that's still fine. Okay, now let's try them. So the first one is number 13, green, and ooh, I just like this part. I mean, just how I take it with the brush, and as you can see, the consistency is like actual cream, like super thick and still possible to apply in a thin layer. Since I am using the oval long tips, I'm using a different brush, not the one from the set, but just a regular gel cover brush. And oh my god, this is just so satisfying. The color is intense and it was just one coat. Neon pink color number 14. This is probably gonna be my favorite one. Next we have yellow number 15. This is a classic yellow, I would say like a sunny yellow color, and they're all just super intense and super easy to apply. Now we have 16, dark purple, well, maybe not really that dark, but still intense enough. Then we have blue number 17, and picking them up from the jar, guys, is definitely just my favorite moment. I just could do it for the whole day. And then we have another kind of pink, a bit darker, a bit more reddish, number 18. So I would say one coat is just more than enough, but these gels are going to be just great for design. Now let's cure it and take a look. All colors are super bright and super intense. Let's do some design now. But first we need to take off the old product. So today I have a client with nails and product on them, and I'm going to file it off with a ceramic bead since she has just a gel polish overlay. And we can also see a white background that was underneath. So she shared that they used airbrush to do this design. Design looks pretty, by the way. Sometimes you guys are asking why am I using ceramic beads sometimes and why do I use carbide. So for gel polish, ceramic is really good. It doesn't heat as much, that's true, but still you need to control it. So I would say if you are just getting started, carbide bead will be probably a better solution for you because it's just a bit easier to control, while ceramic bead will file off more product in one take, which gives us more responsibility. So I would say ceramic, I would recommend it for nail technicians with some experience with e-file. I'm going to file off the product completely since we have some discoloration and also some lifting on the free edge, so it's just better to take it all off and do a new overlay. Cuticle care comes next. I will be using flame bit with red abrasive mark, and I will clean the left side first. The speed is about 14,000 rotations per minute, and also with this client we have a deep grooves, so we need to clean them all. Also, her skin is a bit sweaty, so I would say that's a light stage of hyperhidrosis, which means we need to be very careful when applying the product, and I will give you some tips once we get to it. Manicure is done, now let's do the overlay. But first I need to take care of this pinky. As you can see, the entire corner and the sidewall are missing and we need to change that. So I apply dehydrator and then I'm applying a base coat by Modelones, and this should be a very thin coat which I'm going to cure in LED for 30 seconds. I will be using polygel to add the product to just rebuild the shape of this nail, and this is light pink by Modelones as well. I got this kit I think earlier, and this color is just semi-translucent pink. Actually, since we are applying a color on top, it doesn't really matter which color you use. You can also use nude. So basically I need to rebuild this missing side. The consistency is just on point to do that. We do not need to fit the form or attach a tip or something like that. I will just slightly do it. If the nail was like really broken, we would need to probably use form, but that's just enough. Now cure for 1 minute and let's do the overlay. First, I'm going to apply dehydrator, and since we have a hyperhidrosis client, I'm going to apply it 2 times, and it is okay if you're touching the skin because we need to dehydrate it just a little bit. Then I'm going to apply non-acid primer, and by the way, it took a while all this dehydrator was fully dry. The reason I applied primer only on the free edge is because we're doing overlay, not extensions. So for overlays, I think that's just all we need because normally the product peels only on the free edge, while on the entire nail bed the adhesion is usually pretty good. Next step, base coat. This is a base coat by Modelones, and the first layer should be very thin. It is extremely important when you're working with the nails like that, because hyperhidrosis nails and skin always tends to have more lifting or peeling. Basically, you have to have just a tiny bit of base coat on your brush. If you take too much and the coverage will look like you just applied the color, then it's not right. That's why it actually takes a while, because you need to apply it carefully. Make sure you applied it everywhere, and also it's okay if you will leave a tiny margin along the sidewalls. It is much better compared to if we will touch the skin and it will flood it a little bit. Then we're going to fully cure it for 30 seconds in LED, and with the next coat I'm going to add a little bit of structure. So this is how I do it. I just add a drop on top, and with the same brush, or you can use a different brush, it's up to you, I'm building the structure. The reason we need to do it here is because this client has pretty flat nails, and as you can see, they're not super short, we have some length. So in order to build them stronger and just to protect them from breaking in the future, it's better to add a little bit on the apex, kind of the same thing we do when doing extensions. Now cure for 30 seconds. The color I'm going to use is white by Modelones. So for the design we are about to do, we need a bright white background. And I have to admit, applying just a solid white color is probably the challenging part for me, because I don't really mind applying red, black, gel polish. It wasn't such a big deal for me, but white, you need to be super careful, because every stroke, every wrong move towards the cuticle will be easily seen. Let me guys know which color is the most challenging for you to apply. I'm really curious. While this color by Modelones is pretty good and intense, so I cannot say that the color itself is hard to apply. Just make sure you do not have any bubbles, and most importantly, you are not touching the skin. Cure for 30 seconds, and even though the color is very intense, it's still better to apply the second coat because we need a super bright background here. The hardest part is ready. Now let's do the fun part. Add some colors. I will be using yellow first, number 15, and a sponge. So I just dab it into the gel and then dab onto the nail, and this is how we create these beautiful yellow spots. This is super easy and super fast. So we could do that with gel polishes as well, but if you guys ever tried it, you probably noticed that usually we have bubbles because gel polishes, they have a thinner consistency, while solid cream gel will not have this problem. So I just put it into the jar, then just take any clean surface and remove the excess product just a tiny bit, and then we are adding some green on the nails. The color is so intense and the consistency is so thick that it looks bright even when it's thin like that. And here goes my favorite one. You can easily tell that by the amount of pink I'm about to add to these nails. Do you guys see the orange part already? And we didn't have orange here, so this is what happens when pink goes on top of the yellow. If you wish to have a more intense color, then you can just take more product into the sponge or just do it twice. We were thinking if we should add the purple color number 16, and then yes, we just decided to give it a shot and it came out pretty. So we just wanted a lighter version, that's why I just took excess off on the piece of paper again. Just take a look at this. Now it looks like a sunset or something, and the colors are really pretty. With my studio lights, by the way, they look a bit pale, so I will show you the final result with the natural light later and you will see. They look really cool. After that, we need to fully cure it in LED for 1 minute. And we decide that just a tiny bit design will never hurt, right? And we will be using a sticker. So we picked this finger for the design and I'm applying base coat. I'm not applying it on the entire nail, only on the part where we plan to add the sticker, and then cure it in LED for 30 seconds because we need a sticky layer for the design. We picked this one, Sun is Shining, and you just cut out the words that you decided to add. This is a regular water slider. So you just put it in water for a few seconds, separate, and here we go. It easily sticks on the sticky layer. And then all you need to do is just to seal it with the top coat, and I will be using a Modelones top coat from the gel polish kit. I will also add a drop of top coat on the top to build the structure again, so we will have a perfectly smooth surface and a little bit of apex. Fully cure in LED for 30 seconds, and since we have a white background, I do not recommend curing it for too long, and this is it. Like I said, in studio lights it looks a bit pale, more like pastel, but in real life this is how it looks like. It's just a gorgeous multicolor ombre. Let me guys know what you think, and if you are looking for some nail art solutions for just hand painting nail art or creating something like that, you should definitely try this solid nail gel. I will leave all the links and the discount codes in the description box. Thank you so much for watching. If you are first time here, consider subscribing as I post new nail art tutorials just like this one every week. And I will see you in my next one. Goodbye!